Yo, what's going on, everybody? JC here today from Fittest Gamers, and today I bring to you all WWE's Smackdown. Here Comes the Pain in 2023. This game is absolutely insane still to today. It's reselling on eBay for a large amount of money because everybody wants their hands on it, because this could be one of the iconic games of the 21st century. This could be the 2000s video game, wrestling video game, the best of all time, and many will not argue that statement. Of course, you have WrestleMania 2000 and No Mercy, but this game was just ahead of its time. From the entrances, from the story mode, or the career mode, or season mode is what they call it. Everything felt super unique. Look at, they even have the milk truck scene in this game. Absolutely beautiful. Who would have expected this to be in the game back then? There's nothing bad to talk about this game, except you can't hear the characters' voices, but besides that, everything is perfect. This game just played perfect for what it was, and years later, you could play it again. You're like, damn, this is actually really good, really fun. I want to know what happens next. They made it feel exciting, not like how the games are now. In my opinion, this game compared to what we have now, it's a bit stale what we have now. Of course, graphics have gotten better, different entrances, a lot of newer features, but this game just seems perfect. Like, they could literally just do this game again, do a remake, and we will all be content with it. They had some cool features in the story mode where you would have like a promo video with who you were facing in the pay-per-view, the one that was coming up, just like this, the day of the pay-per-view. You would watch this and you'll get all hyped. You're like, oh, I'm not gonna lose this match, I'm gonna win. Of course, we know it's a game, you can control your own fate, but yes, things like this just made it feel more special. There were so many great takeaways from this game, and this is one of them, of course. And of course, the smooth gameplay, which goes with its high rating. I mean, the game has an absurd high rating. It's the first game, by the way, to have the Elimination Chamber. None of the GameCube games ever had it, so the Elimination Chamber was a big factor. When they announced that it was going to have the Elimination Chamber, I was like, what? We all wanted to play it non-stop. The way they advertise it in real life, well, we wanted to play it in the game and see if it was really, as brutal as it was. Of course, TLC matches were added to the game. Superstars had signature moves that you could do. Like, you could perform Goldberg's spear like with a taunt without even having the finisher move equipped. Tons of great things, smooth transitions, falling off of ladders, funny cutscenes in the story mode. What did this game not have? And this is like a workout that you do with Brock Lesnar. It was very short though, but very cool to see. Entrances. You could just take in the entrances and it just felt surreal. You'll just take it and you're like, oh wow, what am I experiencing now? It just, everything just gelled perfectly. If you want to talk about ratings, well, the ratings that we're looking at, 8.5 out of 10 according to IMDb. 96% of Google users liked this game. This game was amazing. It released October the 27th of 2003, and obviously it's the sequel to WWE Smackdown, Shut Your Mouth, I believe, or just the Smackdown series in total. It was the best fighting game. VGX award for best fighting game, I believe, is what it says there. Indeed it was. It was just, it's a game that's never been matched. It's a game that a lot of us have wanted to get something like it again, and we just never were able to get it. So many different features. The hardcore matches allowed you to fight anywhere. This had a famous fight scene backstage, which was Times Square. We'll touch base on that as well. But it's just, just pretty cool. It's the first PS2 game to have Rey Mysterio, I believe, as well. So having Rey Mysterio in the game was absolutely amazing and enjoyable. As a kid, I wanted Rey Mysterio in a WWE game non-stop because he had came out the year before. So like, when are we going to get him in a game? I was too young to create a wrestler by myself. I know the movesets or whatever. So obviously I needed to wait for it to come out. But besides that, we could take in a lot of great things. Story mode stuff. You want to see funny stuff? This is an entrance in the story mode. They literally ask you before the match if you want to try something new for WrestleMania, and they bring this out. We haven't seen this in any of the games. Come on. This is a little bit ahead of its time. A little bit ahead of its time, if you ask me. Then they have the arenas that you play in. The arenas you play in were pretty much identical to how they were in real life. In WrestleMania 19 Stadium or whatever, it had a certain feel. It was made a certain way, so they really can't do it in the game. But they did their best, and it plays. It plays well. It fits well. Bare minimal complaints. You really can't complain at all. They did what they did, and it did a great job. What's exciting about this, I'm gonna touch a little bit off base, but if you like this gameplay, this is probably what we're gonna see with the AEW video game, just with enhanced graphics, and in 2023. If they could pull this off, this will take fighting games by storm. This is not just wrestling games we're talking about. It's fighting games entirely will change, and this will revamp the fighting game genre, and everybody's going to want a piece and see what it's all about. Then we have the famous Times Square. You could play in Times Square, New York. Everybody was on this back in the day. When you unlock Times Square, like, what? I could fight in Times Square, New York? Yes. Yes, you can, and you can clearly and evidently see it here. Movesets were smooth. I mean, we're just touching base on everything. I'm gonna go ahead in a bit, and we're gonna look over the overalls and the match types of every single superstar in this iconic game. From top to finish, we're gonna see the highest overalls to the lowest overalls, and of course the different arenas that you could play in here. I mean, all the arenas were beautiful. This is back in the day when WWE would get unique with their pay-per-view arenas, unlike today's day and age, sadly. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's touch base on the roster, the overalls, unlockables, match types, the arenas, and how the career mode looks. How the career mode basically looks when you go to the main menu of career mode, because it's changed a little bit from Shut Your Mouth. The one that was of the year before, the one from the year before, so it changed slightly. So let's go ahead and let's give a little look at that, and then we'll get back to the gameplay stuff for our closure of the video. All right, so we're at the part of the video where we look at the overalls, we look at the roster, we look at the match types, the arenas. So first off, let's start off with the roster. So let's go ahead and start off with, gives us The Rock at 87, Rob Van Dam at 81, Rikishi at a 71, Rico at a 63. Fun fact, I think this is the first game to have overalls, as WrestleMania 19 came out for GameCube during this time, and I don't think that one had overalls. Ric Flair at a 75, Rhino at a 74, Rey Mysterio at a 74, Randy Orton at a 70, Nikolai Volkov at a 78. First game to have legends as well. Matt Hardy at a 70, Lita at a 48, Lance Storm at a 70, Kurt Angle 89, Kevin Nash 83, Kane 82, Maskless Kane, John Cena 75, first appearance, Jazz at a 50, Iron Sheik 83, The Hurricane 68, oof, get him a little dirty, Hillbilly Jim 73, Hawk 90, Goldust 68, Goldberg 90, first PlayStation game to have Goldberg, and I think the last, because until years later, obviously. George Steele 75, George the Animal Steele, Eric Bischoff 52, Edge 79, Eddie Guerrero 74. I feel like they both should have been higher. They had great runs around this time. Devon Dudley 68, did him dirty. Christian 69, dirty as well. Chris Chavo Guerrero 67, Charlie Haas 73, Bubba Ray Dudley 69, Brock Lesnar, the man, here comes the pain, comes from 91. I think he has to be the highest in the game. Booker T 81, Big Show 81, Batista 72, first appearance of Batista on a console, PS2 game, I believe. Animal at a 90, A-Train 72, Vince McMahon 64, Victoria 49, Val Venus 65, Undertaker 85, The Undertaker 93, Ultimo Dragon 70, Trish Stratus at a 50, Triple H 90, right under Brock Lesnar, Tori Wilson 46, Test 74. I think we have the hidden characters, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, I don't know his overall, sadly. Tajiri at a 65, Steven Richards at a 63, Steve Austin 85, Stephanie McMahon 44, Stacy Keibler 46, Shelton Benjamin 73, Shawn Michaels 80, did him dirty as well. Very, very low for Shawn Michaels. Sergeant Slaughter, don't know his overall. Sean O'Hare, 65. Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump at an 80. I don't know if he was in the GameCube games, and if he wasn't, this was his last appearance in a console game, or WWE game, period. Sable at a 44. Rodney Mack 65. Roddy Piper 84. The Rock 87. So Decent roster. I mean, it's considered to be one of the best games of all times, as I stated earlier. I feel like the roster could have been a bit bigger for who they had at the time, and then all the different arenas. So of course we have the standard arenas. You have SmackDown A, you have SmackDown B. I don't know what's the difference. I haven't really checked the differences, honestly. I guess it's the camera angle, maybe. Could be the camera angle, I believe. I think it's the camera angle. Raw A, Raw B. We have Velocity, we have Heat. Honestly, I don't know the difference, so I'm sorry about that. Then we have Royal Rumble, the No Way Out, WrestleMania 19. They did these stadiums or arenas pretty good for its time, ahead of its time if you ask me. We have Backlash, Judgment Day, Bad Blood, Vengeance, SummerSlam, Unforgiven, No Mercy, Survivor Series, Armageddon, Rebellion, and Insurrection. So I think these are from 2003. If you up to here or up to Bad Blood, they're all from 2003. And maybe Vengeance. And then if I'm not mistaken, SummerSlam down, they were all the pay-per-views from 2002. And then something cool, a cool feature now that you're gonna see now comes. We're looking at the arenas now. The outdoor arenas, which you've seen some gameplay of, and I'll show you real quick here. When you do a hardcore match or whatever, I think it's just hardcore match, you can have the backstage area, which is the arena, back entrance, the parking lot, training room, Times Square, the legendary Times Square. Everybody plays this when they play this game. Outside arena A, outside arena B. I guess this is the difference when it comes to the arena, actually. When you choose A or B, I think that's one of the differences. Not too sure, don't quote me on it. Now let's look at the match types. We have single match with, I think it should give you the option with managers or no managers. Single, we have no manager, with manager, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We have tag team matches, regular normal tag, tornado tag, and with the managers. You have a 6-man tag, normal 6-man tag, tornado 6-man tag. You have handicap matches. You can do 1-on-2, 1-on tag, 1-on-3. Then we have the hardcore match, single hardcore match, tornado tag, tornado 6-man tag, triple threat tornado tag, triple threat, fatal 4-way, and a time limit. Then you have Royal Rumble, which I think is just 30, standard 30. You can't do any 10, 20 like in the future. Then you have survival game modes, triple threats, fatal 4-way, 4-man battle royal, 5-man battle royal, 6-man battle royal. So these are all eliminations, I believe. Maybe not, no, not the fatal 4-way actually, but the battle royals, yeah. Then we have the main events, the 3 stages of hell, which is where you get to choose. I think, well, it didn't let me choose there. But the 3 stages of hell, you get to choose 3 different matches, and whoever wins 2 wins, and you got to choose your matches right here. The first match, you have single match, cage match, hardcore match, Hell in a Cell, ladder, submission, table, TLC, last man standing, first blood, and it just continues off the board. So 3 stages of hell is there. You have bra and panties, which I think it's only with the females. The legendary bra and panties, first game to have bra and panties, I believe. You have the cage match, elimination chamber, elimination tag, first blood match, Hell in a Cell, Iron Man, the ladder match, last man standing, the lumberjack match, slobber knocker, which I think you have a bunch of superstars around the ring. No, that's a lumberjack. Slobber knocker is like you pin somebody, you face somebody else. Maybe I do gameplay on that. Special referee, slobber knocker is more and more people come, and you pin, and it just goes from there until you lose, I believe. You have submission, table match, and a TLC. So those are all the different match types. You have the superstars, so the arena. I don't go through the creation hub because I never really did the creation hub in this game. I don't know how great it was. But online, if you were to do some research, search up the different movesets, you can find the movesets to wrestlers that aren't in the game, and you can make a superstar that look just like them. And different websites online now, they give you options of what preset model is closest to who, and you got to change certain things. So we have the options, the match rules, the in-game options, the system data, in-game options, difficulty. You could change it all the way to SmackDown. It goes easy, normal, hard, and SmackDown. Pretty cool to see. The match rules, you could adjust the match rules here. The charger speed of your, you use your finisher, fast, normal, fast. I think the fast is Is it fastest? Is that an option? It goes normal, fastest. Yeah, I was right. You have the credits, season mode. Go ahead, show you season mode real quick. We are in one now, and this is how it looks like. You know, the pay-per-view, the week, whatever. Every 4 weeks. After the fourth week, you have the pay-per-view. You have your SmackDown and Raw show, followed by your pay-per-view. And going into this main menu of the story mode, you weren't able to free roam in this one, like in SmackDown, just bring it or shut your mouth. I think it's just shut your mouth and just bring it. But here we have the profile where you can view superstar stats and information. You can, click on John Cena. His information comes up. His win and loss record. I don't know if this is the win and loss record, like, when the game was out during this time period. I don't know how they determine it. Shows his title runs, his belts, who he defeated. Yeah, so this is not accurate. That information is not accurate to how it was in real life at the time. The title info, it shows you who are the champions at the time. It shows you all the champs. Very cool feature here. Triple H Hardcore Champ. Look at that. The stables, it shows you the stables. You get to view and edit stables. You get to, see what stables are. You have Evolution, of course. Evolution 3-man. You have Big Show, A-Train, the Dudley Boys, Haas and Benjamin, Los Guerreros, HBK, Kevin Nash, Beast Mode, which is one that was made. I made it because I became a stable with Brock somehow. You have the attributes to your superstar that you could alternate. As you progress to the season mode, you can make better. You can move around. You can talk backstage. Have a talk with Steve Austin here. Have a talk with the GM. Let's see what the Steve Austin chat goes. Let's see how that works. That's a cool feature too. They're not always going to be available at all times. He's asking me who he's supposed to be facing. Yeah. And then, now, apparently now I have a match with Stone Cold. So, oh man, no, I still don't have a match with Stone Cold. But I held my ground with Steve Austin, so I got an SP +1, which is a good thing. Then we have the shop zone here. The shop zone, very cool. You can buy a bunch of different things, different move sets. The superstars, legendary superstars, Jimmy Snuka. You have $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, Sergeant Slaughter, the old school Undertaker. You have Animal, you have Hawk. Different attires for the superstars you can purchase. They have secondary attires, the different backstage arenas, or the arenas you could buy. It goes with Rebellion, SummerSlam, WrestleMania 19, Raw B, SmackDown B, Times Square. Of course, everybody wanted to get Times Square at the time. The different attires, a bunch of different attires for superstars. So very cool. Wish they would have had more. Wish every superstar would have alternate attires. That would have made it real cool. The GameCube one has alternate attires for all superstars, which is very cool. And then of course you have the match card. Once we get here, there is no looking back now. But yes, you have different matches here. You see I'm involved in a 6-man tag tonight. Rey Mysterio versus Eddie for the Cruiserweight title. Ray lost. Val Venus, Shelton Benjamin, whatever. I'm going to go ahead and skip this one. Yep, I don't know who won. My team lost, obviously. But yeah, that's all it is. That's all there is to it. This is pretty much the basis of story mode and everything else. So yeah, we're going to come back, have a little outro for the video, give us our initial ratings, but this is probably the standard bearer of all video wrestling games and from the 2000s, and this is probably, everyone gives it the best of the best. So hope you all enjoyed, and cue the static, please. So SmackDown Here Comes the Pain has a very special place in my heart. Played it for so many years, and honestly in 2023 still plays brand new. If you have never played this game, I highly suggest you playing it, even though it's going to cost you anywhere from $30 to $50 used. Brand new, I think the game is selling for well over 100. I am not sure. I actually have an original copy somewhere in my house, but I had to purchase this because I had lost it. It's somewhere here still, but I wanted to do this video and I wanted to play this game badly, so I just went ahead and bought it. Great deal on eBay that I got for it. Nonetheless, enjoyable. playing this in 2023, it feels brand new and it feels refreshing, and I think that's what I kind of want out of video games now. I want it to feel different. So going back and playing these older games, they feel new. What's old is new, that's the saying. So I think a remake will be absolutely a great idea if they don't tweak the game too much, add more wrestlers to the roster. I wish at the time the game had more wrestlers. It is missing a good amount of wrestlers. I mean, Jeff Hardy was in the original version, they took him out. Ultimate Warrior as well. Hulk Hogan as well too. There is no Hulk Hogan in this game. Hulk Hogan's in the GameCube version, but not in this one. So I find it kind of weird and odd. It would have been cool. The roster could have been a bit bigger. There's a lot of wrestlers that are missing in this game that they could have added, and it would have made the game 1,000 times better. But overall, this game's a 10 out of 10. Honestly, it's near perfection. Would have been cool too if you could edit attires. I believe No Mercy for the Nintendo allowed you to do it. So did WrestleMania 2000, but you can't quote me on it. Or for a matter of fact, I think most of the GameCube wrestling games allowed you to edit attires, and that's not a feature that we got until years later. I think SmackDown vs. Raw 2010 was the first time we were able to do that, which is very, very cool, and you can still do it today now, edit the superstars. So SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, enjoyable. SmackDown vs. Raw 2010, yeah, I think that was the first one, I believe, if I said that. SmackDown vs. Raw 2010 was the first one to allow the changing of the superstars editing their clothes or whatever. But Here Comes the Pain, far, far, far beyond ahead of its time. Super enjoyable, absolutely recommendable. Get your hands on it if you haven't, and hopefully we can see a remake someday. A little cool thing that you notice if you Google the game, it says it's part of the sequel with the WWE 2K games. So I'm not sure if there may be a remake possibly happening. Probably not, honestly. I mean, probably not. Who knows? But yeah, hope you all have enjoyed this video. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. JC from Fittest Gamers. Remember that God is real, God is good, and miracles do happen. I am a living proof of that. I'm still standing by the grace of God. Thank you, God. Remember Hulk Hogan's mantra of say your prayers and eat your vitamins. And John Cena's saying of never give up. And yeah, Here Comes the Pain. WWE SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain in 2023. An absolute success, an absolute gem, not outdated, plays perfect. Have fun. You don't have to play new games to be relevant. Have fun, play what you like, and you'll enjoy it. Just really, really do hope that we could get a remake of some sort. If they do a remake, they'll knock it out the park. But as of right now, the same creators of this game, from my knowledge, are the ones creating the AEW game. So the AEW game is what may give us what we want. I'm not sure if the WWE game is going to give us anything close to this. You just can't replicate really good things. Often duplicated, never replicated, if that's the word, I think. You know, or often imitated, never whatever. Bret Hart used to say, you know what I'm talking about. So thank you so much, guys. JC, I'm logging out. Remember to brush your teeth, wash your hands, and clean your ass. JC from Fittest Gamers, and I am officially logging out. Deuces!